Before I get into this, I should say there's spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen the episode, don't watch the video. So the theme for this episode is rebuilding, restoration. How do we get there? How do we move on? Okay. So the way that Ellie believes that she is going to rebuild and restore herself is through revenge. So if you've seen this episode, they did a time jump. Why? Because do you know how much time it would take to go through the fallout of everything that happened after Joel's death? So episode 3 is essentially a pilot. The reason I say this is because the series pretty much restarted after Joel died because Ellie is the new protagonist. And so now everything needs to reset structurally, right? There's a new format for the series. Before, each episode of The Last of Us had the threat of the infected, plus a human threat, plus Joel and Ellie. And this is what equaled an episode of The Last of Us. But now the format has changed. It's no longer Joel and Ellie. That's been replaced with Ellie and Dina. There's also a new goal for the series as well, right? Last season was all about whether or not Joel can get Ellie to the hospital that she needs to get to in order to save the world. Now, the new goal is, will Ellie be able to avenge Joel? And a new goal means a new story engine. Now, Ellie's goal of avenging Joel is on theme for this episode. And while this is a new season-long goal, anytime a character has goals in a show, you have to give them obstacles to overcome it. So the pilot is letting us know that throughout the rest of this season, what we're going to be seeing is Ellie trying to avenge Joel, meeting obstacles, overcoming them, and then being met with more obstacles until she is either going to fail or accomplish her goal. That's essentially the basic structure that's happening here. And so now, while this is the seasonal goal, we need to have an episodic goal, right? So the episodic goal is Ellie's first step into avenging Joel, which is to make it to Seattle where she knows Joe's killer is, right? That's step 1 in enacting her revenge, and that's what this episode is all about. It starts with Dina telling Ellie all the information that she knows on Joe's killers. They're in Seattle, right? This is the first beat because we have to give Ellie the goal. She doesn't wake up saying, I need to go to Seattle. She has no idea where these people are. So this is really just activating the character, giving her the goal that we're gonna watch. So in the next beat, Ellie tries to appeal to the council and have people sent with her to Seattle to avenge Joel, but she fails. The council votes no. This is all very on theme, right? Because essentially what's happening is there is this huge dialogue about whether or not revenge is worth it. And then when Ellie does appeal to the council, that's essentially, from a writer's perspective, that's her just announcing her goal to the audience. She's basically saying, I'm Ellie, here's what I want, here's why I want it. This is me going after my goal. And it makes perfect sense because characters always do the easiest thing first. That's the first thing that they try. Anytime that they're gonna go after their goal, this is the easiest thing and it has to end in failure because it cannot be that easy. Again, structurally, she has to meet obstacles and overcome them. So in the next beat, that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna overcome her obstacle by going to Seattle anyway with way fewer resources. And this is really where her journey begins, right? They plan their route, they're heading there, but then, of course, obstacle. They make it only to see there's been a massacre. So it's like she accomplished her goal of getting to Seattle, but then she's met with an even bigger obstacle, more dangerous, more violent than she could have imagined. And we even get to see it. Her enemies are not just great fighters. They're basically military. They have military weapons and everything. So leaving it off on this obstacle is really a cliffhanger because now we're thinking, well, how the hell are these two girls going to be able to accomplish this? And it is a structural technique because it leads to more story, which is the trick of TV. It's all about generating more story. And that's exactly what obstacles do. So essentially, the structure is this. The first beat is activating the character. The second beat is the character tries to take the easy way, fails, and is met with an obstacle. Then they overcome the obstacle and go after the goal the hard way, which leads to them accomplishing their goal, only to be met with an even bigger obstacle. And you'll see that in TV, we cycle through these right here over and over and over again to create a season of television.